So I just heard that NHS hospitals are again to be overwhelmed, like every Christmas time. Who else is bored of hearing this every winter? Like, the NHS has the same funding as the amount of funding that goes into small countries. The funding is so immense. Isn't it time we just really point the finger at the failure of the NHS and how rubbish and inept it is most of the time these days? And I'm not saying people don't work hard. I know people who work the most hours, every hour that they can do, and they give 110%, but the system is completely broken. And it is not about money. They don't need any more money. And yet every day you see advertisements for jobs, for DEI, net zero jobs. What do they do every day? Like, the waste is immense. I've talked about the NHS before. And obviously, like with a lot of things, the population for this little island is way too big for our public services to manage. And you can't just keep throwing more money that we don't have and asking for more nurses that we don't have. Next subject. Along those lines, Keir Starmer going on about we're going to build this and how many more houses. Again, people may say, oh, there's lots of land, but there's only so much land that is feasible to build on. Again, in this teeny tiny cramped island, which per capita, we're like the most crammed population out of the mass majority of countries in the whole world. And again, it's another reason of why things are breaking and why satisfaction is going down the Swanee. We can't keep being a reactive country all the time. More people come, build more houses. More people come, build more houses. We need more doctors. We need more schools. Yeah, it's just a recipe for disaster. And in the same line about the house building, Keir Starmer said, oh, I'm going to get rid of NIMBYs and all those environmental campaigners that try and stop big housing estates. Oh, so he's not on the side of the environmentalists. So he doesn't care about the environment. You know, destroying nature, wildlife, flora, fauna, and we're one of the most depleted, biodiverse countries again in the world. Like, we've lost so much of our biodiversity. And we're now going to plaster solar panels on all of it and kill wildlife with turbines, and we're just going to have no life, basically. Again, read into that what you want. But he's happy to squash and belittle environmentalists and at the same time expect us to literally go back to the dark ages with the highest energy costs in the world. And we're not even allowed to burn logs that we've done since time began. And they want us to pay more for everything and poison our food supply with weird chemicals and limit the amount of food we have because they're plastering all arable land with solar panels and wind turbines. So we're literally committing national suicide in so many cases and destroying industries, destroying jobs left, right and centre. I've yet to hear of any jobs being made by the Net Zero Brigade. We're doing so many things that is speeding the car of the UK off the cliff edge. And as I've said, no other country is following. But he's happy to point the finger and laugh at environmentalists that are not really wanting a mass load of houses built on probably another floodplain on green fields. And this is the hypocrisy and ineptitude and arrogance that we're living in, constantly causing so many problems that we, the little man, have to bear the brunt of and generally pay for. And, you know, the likes of Keir Starmer will walk off in a few years with a huge load of money and bungs, with a massive pension, and probably go move abroad. How much waste and ineptitude can we continue to put up with.